Hi there, and welcome to today's episode of How the Game Was Won. Today we're looking at the first of the tiebreak games of the finals of the World Cup being played in Baku. It's the World Cup 2015, and in the final we have Karjakin and Svidler. The first two tiebreak games are being played with a time control of 25 minutes per player, but without further ado, let's skip ahead to where the position starts looking particularly interesting, which is after White's 39th move. And what you have here is, you can see that Black is clearly better in this position. What Svidler has at his disposal is obviously those two bishops are looking really powerful, and for that matter the a2 pawn can be easily recovered at basically any stage. And the reason why I'm saying that the a2 pawn can be easily recovered is that Svidler is sitting with these doubled up rooks down the a file, both gunning down towards a2. Game continued with rook takes a2, rook takes a2, bishop takes a2, queen e1, bishop c4, knight g4, queen f5, queen e4, rook a1, king h2, and I don't know if this was just the overall length of the tournament or whatever, but by the looks of things, Svidler is by far starting to look really tired, and here he plays h5, just basically giving away a pawn. For instance, instead of playing h5, bishop g7 could have been played, which would have maintained some sort of degree of equality. h5 was played, but queen f5, queen takes an f5, e takes an f5, knight takes an f6 with check. And now leaves Svidler with a slow and grinding death at the end of a bishops of opposite, or should we say, what's heading its way once the bishops and knights come off, what will probably be heading down to a long, grindy rook and pawn endgame, where White has got this wonderful passed pawn sitting on d4 at the moment. Game continued with king f7, knight d7, bishop g7, bishop e5, bishop h6, f4, rook a2, rook takes an a2, bishop takes an a2, king g3, bishop f8, bishop c7, bishop a3, knight e5 with check, king f6, bishop d8 with check, king g7, king h4, bishop d6, king g5, bishop takes an e5, f takes an e5, king f7, g3, bishop e6, bishop f4, bishop d5, king e3, king e6, king d2, bishop g2, h4, bishop d5, king c2, king d7, bishop a5, king c6, king d3, king d7, king c2, king c6, king b2. And as you can see, we've got bishops of opposite color at the moment. We have, which makes it generally often bishops of opposite color are lead to a drawn endgame, I suppose you can say, except for when it's not. And the case when it's not is you've got White's got this c3 pawn that is backing up the twin passed pawns sitting in the middle of the board. Continuing, king a3, bishop d5, king b4, bishop e6, bishop d8, bishop d5, king a5, bishop e6, king a6, bishop c8, check. And again, it's the king and bishop maneuverings through the process of which White is setting himself up to the ideal situation of being able to push those centralized connected passed pawns. King a7, bishop e6, bishop g5, bishop d7, bishop f4, bishop e6, king d8, bishop d7, bishop g5, bishop e6, bishop h6, and here Svidler plays yet another blunder. For instance, in this position, you could have played f4 with bishop takes an f4, bishop d7, d5, check, king d5, king c7, bishop f5, king d8, and king e6. But instead he went for bishop d7, which simply allowed the bishop f4, bishop e6, d5 to get the first of the pawn pushes in the middle of the board. Bishop takes in d5, which allows the king to come across to c8, achieving the opposition. Bishop b3, king d8, bishop c4, king e7, bishop b3, and this is basically the idea here. Is black would like to put a bishop on f5, for instance, and a king on d5 or e6 to prevent white's activity. But he can't, because he doesn't have access to the f5 square to place his bishop. And that simple fact that he's got a pawn currently occupying that f5 square means that obviously the bishop can't get there, and that's what is effectively his undoing as far as his endgame is concerned. We see it playing itself out with e6, bishop c4, king f6, bishop e3, bishop c1, bishop c4, bishop a3, bishop b3, e7, king d7, and now the king takes on g6. Because should white, for instance, should black pick up the that passed pawn, all white then needs to do is to then pick up these two black pawns, and you'll have the GH pass pawn combination, which will march themselves down to the H8 square, bearing in mind that black's bishop is on the white squares, so which means that there's no ways that black can cover the H8 square, and for that reason Svidler resigned the game, giving Karjakin 3 wins in a row and needing just a draw in the 6th game of the match to be able to take the world title. Join me for game 6, which will be another how the game was won. Until then, please feel free to share this video out with amongst your chess friends. Also click the thumbs up button if you like this type of content, thumbs down if not, that way I know how to be improving matters. And also post any comments, questions, criticisms that you may have down below. That way you'll help me to make these videos even better in the future. And last but by no means least, if you're watching this on YouTube, down just below the video screen you'll see a big red subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button so that you can stay subscribed to my channel for all the new content that comes out on a day-to-day and a week-to-week basis, and catch all the new episodes of How the Game Was Won as they come out. Until that time, stay carved up for the win and stay safe out there. I'll see you then. Cheers.